Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have another N-Scale update for you. It's just going to be a quick one. I just want to display some of the purchases that have come in. There are more turnouts on the way because I bought enough to do my entire main loop, but I'm just going to be showing what has come in so far, just because I likely won't be making another update video for a couple weeks. Possibly to include some bench work, so I'm gonna hold out for that. Maybe make one just a quick Christmas one, but other than that, which I'm not sure about, I may just make one in the new year. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I talked about these before in my last video that I had ordered two Atlas GP35s in CP Rail scheme. One is 5023, the other is 5024. One is DCC equipped, the other is DCC ready. I'm not too sure. I bought them both off eBay, so that's gonna be something I have to find out and maybe test. So moving right along, I bought two Atlas Trainman 50-foot boxcars in the Railbox schemes. This one is 32587. This one is 32582. Some nice detail on them. Being Atlas Railman, they are pretty inexpensive. They've got plastic wheels and truck mounted couplers, but they roll really nice and they look pretty good, and for the price I really can't argue. I have nothing bad to say about them. So moving on, we have an Atlas Trainman 40-foot boxcar with the insulated CP rail scheme, and honestly, again, although it has the plastic wheels and the truck mounted couplers, I just absolutely love this unit. I love the yellow CP rail boxcars, just like I love the green CP rail boxcars. I just think they look awesome. And you know what? I love the red CP rail boxcars. I'm just a big fan of CP rail, as you all probably know. So, love that. We have some really nice detail on the door, and the ladders, and up top on the roof with the grating, which, although isn't see-through, is a nice touch. Moving on, we have a Fox Valley model. So this is in Sioux line number 18836, and sorry, I forgot to mention this is number 35106. So back to 18836 in Sioux line. It looks to be another 50-foot boxcar, I believe. Yeah. And just kind of comparing it to the Atlas Trainman, I should have put them side by side. The door detail is different, but of course that is different for the prototypes. It's got a little more detail than the Atlas Trainman, and it also comes with metal wheels and body mounted couplers. And it was actually the same price, pretty much $20. It might be $20.99 versus $19.99, so maybe $1 difference. I picked these up for, but this is actually a really nice model. I like the different paint on the roof, and just the extra little detail is really nice. That's a brand that I haven't had anything before. Fox Valley, once again, really impressed. So I will be looking for more of their stuff. Now let's move on to kind of what everything's sitting on. I ended up buying Code 80 Pico track. I actually ordered 30 feet of flex track, 10 bundles of 3 feet, or not bundles, but 10 3-feet sections. And I decided to go with Code 80 because it's more readily available than Code 55, but I did dip into 355, or into Code 55 up with the double slip, but I'll talk about that in a moment. I decided to go with Flex Track and more so non-snap track was more important. I did the snap track with Atlas, and I know that there are other alternatives such as Kato or Kato, depending on how you pronounce it. I just didn't really. I just find the snap track is a little more difficult, especially with me working with such a small area. The flex track kind of allows me to bend and twist, and you get a little more scenery, like kind of scenic value. That's not a real word, I'm sure, but if you know what I'm trying to say, you can put little bends and stuff like that in the flex track, and it looks a little bit better. Furthermore, I found that you have a little more freedom with things like switches without kind of converting from a pre-track bed, or with normal snap like Atlas you wouldn't have it, but if you were to go with the the road bed attached, then to go from that to, say, like a double slip would be difficult because they don't manufacture them, you know, like if you go with Kato, I don't think they have a double slip. So moving on to this, it is code 55 because that's the only way they offer the double slip switch for N scale Pico. But I went with the Pico. I just have one at the moment because I only bought enough for my outer loop, but there will be more to come. They are awfully expensive, but when you think about how they're kind of 2 switches in one / saves a ton of space, it kind of works out to be worth it. Here we have a couple switches that I also bought. I stayed with only medium and large radius turnouts. That way, if I did want to reuse them on a larger layout or run a 6-axle, I can, and I don't have to worry about it. A problem I had on my old layout is I used a lot of the generic Atlas snap switches, and the radius is just too tight. And, you know, a lot of the bigger locomotives have trouble with that, and I really tried not to limit myself this time around. As mentioned, I have a 13-inch radius minimum on this layout, or at least planned for this layout, so that should be more than plenty. And then of course we have some rail joiners. I also have insulated ones. Where I put them, I do not know, and there are more packages. I bought a couple packs of both because I do plan on having some reverse sections for reverse loops, as well as sections for circuit breakers, like with a PM42. And I got an NMRA track gauge from Kris. He gifted that to me, which is going to be such a nice, useful tool. He's very generous. I really appreciate him. The last but certainly not least thing is I ended up getting my Digitrax Super Chief. This was a new in box old stock purchase off eBay. Sorry for the hand there. I decided to go with Digitrax this way around because A, the price is just phenomenal. I got this. It came with the power supply, but he threw in a double pull, double throw switch with the off feature, which I'm going to use with my programming track as I did on my HO. So, again, Digitrax is a preference. I'm kind of out of the game. I didn't really do too much research because when I was in HO and I had my MRC and it had failed on me, it broke, I had done all my research and I decided to go with Digitrax. I think it comes down to a personal preference between NCE and Digitrax. At least they both have modules that all do the same thing. I think pricing is pretty much similar. I just like the Digitrax because I'm familiar with it, and I like the fact that on the controller you have the 2 speed knobs, so that you don't have to switch locomotive numbers to control 2 locomotives. Perhaps NCE has something like that out there, and I just don't know it. So regardless, I'm just more familiar with the Super Chief specifically, the Super Chief Extra I had. So the Super Chief is pretty much the same. It's just a little bit more limited, but you know, I really don't think I'm going to be running any more than 120 logos. So, you know, I think it'll just be okay. The last thing I want to do a shout out is GBO After Dark, which will be Thursday, December 19th at 8 p.m. It usually is on the last Thursday of the month, but because of Boxing Day, it has moved ahead a week. So I will be a co-host on that again this month. So I will put a link to the description to Kris's channel, which is Go Via or Go Home. And you can check that out on December 19th. Hope to see you there. Other than that, that's all I've got to say. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments, questions, criticisms, put that down below. If you like this video, don't forget a thumbs up. And if you aren't already, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see more videos of mine, that is. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And until next time, enjoy your bacon.